So, let's quickly chant together the invocation prayers, just to seek the blessings of disciplic succession, spiritual masters, Gauranitai and Radha Krishna. Please chant with me. Om Adnanati Virandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chashkuramritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kudamayam Dadati Padapadatikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vidantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sajitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sadhana Lalita Sri Vishakhanam Vishnushya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Takanchana Bhavangi Vrindavameshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Acha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhu Devajam Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pakshata Deshakarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivamsadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are going to read from the Bhagavad-Gita as it is, chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized, and the verse number 2, chapter 2, verse number 47. I can chant and you can follow. Karmanyevadikaraste Ma phaleshu kadachina Ma karma phala heturbhur Ma te sangostva karmani. Any Prabhus would like to?
Karmanyevadikaraste Ma phaleshu kadachana Ma karma phala heturbhur Ma te sangostva akarmani.
Mataji's? Go ahead. Karmanyevadikaraste
Ma phaleshu kadachana Ma karma phala heturbhur Ma te sangostva karmani.
Mataji's? Karmanyevadikaraste Ma phaleshu kadachana Ma karma phala heturbhur Ma te sangostva karmani. Let's do word by word. You can tell, you can follow me. Karmani, in the prescribed duties. Eva, certainly. Adhikar, right. Te, of you. Ma, never. Phaleshu, in the fruits. Kadachina, at any time. Ma, never. Karma phala, in the result of the work. Hetu, cause. Bhu, become. Ma, never. Te, of you. Sangha, attachment. Astu, there should be. Akarmani, in not doing prescribed duties. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: You have right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Purport. There are three considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties are the activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. Capricious work means actions without the sanction of the authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the result of his work is also cause of the action, thus is an enjoyer or sufferer of the results of such actions. As far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into the three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Routine work performed as an obligation in terms of the scriptural injunctions without desire for the result is the action in the mode of goodness. Work with the result becomes the cause of the bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has his proprietary right in regard to the prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the result. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of the duty without attachment to the results. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is a cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of the duty was the only auspicious path of the salvation for Arjuna. Okay, so Bhagavad-Gita called as a user manual, like when we buy some television or something, they give some manual on how to use it and all. In the same way, Bhagavad-Gita called as the life manual for our, especially for human life. So it describes everything, like a art of living, art of dying, art of sacrificing, art of eating, art of even art of work too. So today we are going to discuss the Karma Yoga section. This verse comes under that. So that's comes under the art of work. The caption is when work turns to worship. Like there is a very famous proverb outside the world, like work is worship, right? So but that we can unpack a little bit, like when work turns to worship. Yeah, that's also we can explore further. So the context is very, very important. Like for the matter in the life too, like taking decisions just without seeing the big picture, just taking that small part and then take the decisions of judging the people, things like that. It's not good, right? We should know the big picture. In the same way, Bhagavad-Gita also we should learn. This is something apply to myself as well. We need to read Bhagavad-Gita in such a way that each words we need to see the context. What is at what scenario Krishna is telling, at what scenario Arjuna is situated, and then what is the previous verse, afterwards, and the things like that, so that we can get the real essence. That's so important. So for instance, in the chapter 18, Krishna says, Yata ichasi tata kuru. So that means do whatever you wish to do, right? So that does not mean some people may take it as as is, as it is, right? Oh yeah, Krishna is saying you do whatever you wish to do. Yeah. So it is, but that's not the real essence there. Krishna explained the Bhagavad-Gita full, and then Krishna knows that Arjuna understood Bhagavad-Gita, but still Krishna is not compelling or forcing Arjuna to do. I told everything, I also know that you understood. Now you do what you wish to do. That's what it means. And then, of course, Arjuna says that Karishe Vachanam Tava, I prepare to act according to your instructions. So in this verse also we have a context. So let's, what is the context here? Like most of us know here about the Bhagavad Gita, we don't need 101. Like a Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between the Lord Krishna and Arjuna in the battlefield. And then when Arjuna see the whole situation, he kind of get into the lamentation mode, he don't want to fight. So then Arjuna has some points, like he said, I don't want to fight because of this. So primarily there are two questions. The first question, one of the question is, he says that, okay, I can do the fight and then I can get the victory, but with whom I can enjoy? Because with the fighting, everyone will be dead. With whom I can enjoy, right? So that's the one question he asks. And also another question is, he says, so the war means many people will be killed. So it's like I will be become a reason for a bloodshed. So I will become a sinful. So exactly this verse is kind of Krishna is clarifying his doubts through this verse. So this is the context. So this is, if someone asks like what is the essence of the whole karma yoga, then they can refer to this verse. Like this verse has embedded full information for the whole essence of the karma yoga. So very, very important verse, and very practically it applies in our daily life. So first Krishna tells Arjuna when he has this doubt, first he starts with like this. First he introduces the soul. First he is telling, who are you? And then he tells how you need to do work. Like, he's like Krishna is like kind of a dosage. Like, we have a dose 1, dose 2, things like that. Dose 1 is a Sankhya philosophy, dose 2 is a Karma Yoga, and then the most powerful one, the last one, the booster, that's a Bhakti Yoga. So, so that's the thing. Like Krishna is very, very systematically and then very gradually teaching. So you see that verse is 2.47. Like how many verses are there in Bhagavad-Gita? 700. It's a 30 minutes conversation. So that means this is maybe first to 5th minute or 6th minute. If you just see. So we need to understand that the mood of Arjuna is very understanding of course he is acting as an instrument, but still Arjuna is not yet have the understanding of Bhakti. He is still like a nursery, LKG, foundation stage. So that's the context, right? So back to verse. So I put like this is like we primarily have a four primary aspects we discuss from this verse, right? So I just termed as a 1S 3 notes, very easy to remember. So first one, he says that you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, right? So we see this, right? Nowadays, human rights and D&I, diversity, so many things going on outside world. So here is a Krishna says that yes, you have a right, you need to do, have a right to do your prescribed duty. Then Krishna says that then after that you will get a result. Krishna says that, but never entitled to the results, never entitled to the your fruits of the action, right? It's kind of I need to do duty, but without results, without attached to results. And then Krishna don't stop there. Okay, if I don't attach to the result, then how about at least I will get a credit. He says that you are not even consider yourself the cause of the results of the action. It's like too much, isn't it? Because first you say do your duty, but never attach to the results, and also never consider yourself the cause of the results of action. And then one may say that, why I need to work? Okay, I don't work at all. But Krishna says that he knows that we are going to go to that conclusion. So he says that never attach to the not doing your work. So let's see, these are the wheels, right? These are the wheels that we can use these wheels to replace our square wheels and put these circular wheels to make our life smooth. So, and all these are all interrelated, interconnected. It's not like one is here, one is there. It's all aligned. It's all interrelated, interconnected. So let's explore further each and everything and why Krishna is telling, and we can have some practical applications and examples so that we can get the essence. So first is karmanyeva adhikaraste, right to perform your prescribed duty. Nowadays every motivational speakers, life coaches and all, they choose this one because they have what they want from this. As I told you, context, they may take only that piece of what they want that satisfy their agenda, right? So they take that thing, hey, you need to do your duty, work is worship. That's how it's came, right? To perform your prescribed duty, Krishna is telling, Bhagavan is telling. So I saw even in India, when I was growing, some shops, they say customer is a god and your service is worship. Like that I used to see, it's kind of... So, but is that really true? Work is worship, like a certain kind of some pickpocketers, their livelihood is that's it, like dropping the money. Is that the worship? No. And also, commonly in US nowadays, the mass shooting and things like that are happening. Is that they do like as a duty or things like that, very regular basis. So is that worship? It's not. So let's see what Krishna is talking about here. He says that prescribed duty, what exactly prescribed duty here means. So there is a word is called swadharma. Swadharma means or swabhav, or it is our own psychophysical inner nature. Whatever psychophysical nature I had, that is a result of my previous actions and reactions. So that's how my body and everything is configured accordingly. So Krishna also says in Bhagavad-Gita 4.13, Chatur Varna Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhavasha. So according to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of the human society created by me. So this is something we all know. There are the three modes are there. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And there are the four kinds of the society divided. That's called Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. That this is not only applicable during Vedic time, even it is applicable now too. Everywhere in the US this is applicable. If you closely observe, you see this classification everywhere. So we see that. So normally the people of the intellectual class and all, they become the professors and teachers and things like that, right? So, and then some people are kind of more good in administration, things like that, and they become leaders and politicians, or they get into the army, things like that. So it's a Kshatriya spirit. And then the other thing is Vaishya, so that's mercantile business. So we see some people are business management, they do the business. They have a combination of the mode of passion and ignorance. And then the last one is Chandala, that is a labor class. So they are not independent. They work for all those three categories. So this is what Krishna is telling here. So you have this certain swabhava that you got it, then you need to perform your duty as per the thing. Like even for us also here, Grasa and in Vanaprastha or whatever, so we need to do our duties as per our ashram too. So that's a prescribed duty. So that's what Krishna is saying. That is you are right. And the / qualification too. Your qualification too, that is to do. That's the only yes. And then we can give some examples too, right, from the Vedic time. Like if you take Ramayana, like Lord Ramchandra, the mother Sita, and then the Lakshman, Urmila, they all did their dharma. They don't think about what will happen. No, just do their duties without any judging the results of what's going to happen. So that's the standard. So that's okay. So then, I have a right to perform prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. It's kind of confusing, isn't it? So you have a right to duty, but how I can consider and not to attach to the results? So we can spend some time here because this is very important to digest and get the real meaning to Krishna, what he's saying. You can explore further with some example. Do your work, don't expect results. Like it's like I'm just picking up our young devotees there, Suraj and Karthik and Pawan. So they are doing their masters and they do part-time job. So after they work, if they say the time comes to take the payment, if they say that you gave me the Bhagavad-Gita in that 2.47, he said that you do your duty, don't think about results. How do you feel? So come on, you will give punch. So exactly, right? That makes sense, right? Like how can I need to do duty, but I should not expect results. So let's see what exactly Krishna said. Krishna here means that while performing your prescribed duty, whatever the duty, focus on the process and not on the results. That's what he means. Because result is not in our hands, actually, right? So Krishna's advice here is just while performing your prescribed duty, focus on the duty, the process, not the result. That's what it means. We can see more example to take into this. See some more practical example. So that is one aspect, and also we see why Krishna is telling. Like if you think little more, we see so many things. It makes really sense why Krishna is telling this, because this is some very celebrated example. While I was back in India preparing for the entrance exams and all, my teachers used to give this example. Like there is two students are there. This is a orientation. First time the entrance coaching start. This is what they say. There are the two person, Ramu and Somu. So Somu always think of this is in India, like there is a something like IIT. It's a very tough exam to get into that thing. So Somu is always thinking about, oh, can I get the admission into the university, or what will happen if I don't get admission? Maybe my parents, what they think, my relatives, friends, what they think. Most of energy, everything is going on that aspect. And then other example, the Rama. Okay, yes, I'm here. This is my result. I need to get into admission. Okay, that's good. You make a note, pin it every day. You can see that's your result. And then the actual work. Okay, let's do actual work. What is there with me now? Okay, I have this material, this resources, this coaching, and then I have this many friends, and then I have this much time. So he work on that aspect, the process, right? So that's the thing. Like usually, it's not required a brain, because if someone asks naturally who will get the result, it's very easy to say, because the person is so much engrossed in investing the time and energy on the result, just living in the future. Just thinking about the present. That's what it means. People all tells, right, live in the moment, things like that. Live at the moment. So this is what it is like. Think about what you have, resources. Be resourceful with what resources, tools I have. Then I can make that result to happen. That's what it means. That's what Krishna is meaning here. Like you don't attach to the result, but attach to the process. And other example also we can explore, like for example, we do certain things, certain good things, but at the end we get blamed. You do so much good thing, but still, I think every one of you has experienced somehow or other, some point of their life. So when we have that kind of thing, when you have that certain mindset that I did last time this work, but it end up in the I will be blamed. So when we have that consciousness, at first step itself, I will fail. I won't give my 100% best. So that's also another reason why we should not attach to the results, right? Even just one Mother Teresa coming to my mind, because Mother Teresa does not matter for her. There is a need is there. She will go and help. Who cares? Like someone criticize her or someone appreciate her, it's all does not matter. For her, just do service. So that's what it means. Like here, the people who are not attached to the results, they are very productive actually. They won't invest time and energy on the future and then forget about the present. And eventually, the desired results won't come. That's what Krishna is saying. Why we should not attach to the results. And another most important point, we need to always, this is the kind of crux of this presentation. Krishna said that not attached to the result. That does not mean you should not have any goals. Right? That's very, very important. Like even if we say like in a war is a serious business. Krishna and Arjuna, have a scrum meetings every day, daily stand up. Who is IT, they know. Every day they meet and strategize, planning what to do. It's like a planning. It's not like that planning is essential. Just one example, like at the day 14, I think, Abhimanyu, 16-year-old boy, he was killed mercilessly by Jayadratha without following the code of conduct. So that day Arjuna becomes so furious, and then he tells that next day I'm going to kill Jayadratha by the end of sunset. If I don't kill him, then I will get into the fire. That's a clear-cut goal. That time Krishna did not come, hey Arjuna, Did you remember 2.47? Do your duty, don't attach result. No. That time Krishna said, yes, yeah, then they plan, and the next day Arjuna fight very expertly. End of the day, they achieved the mission accomplished. So that's what it means here. Krishna does not mean you should not have a goals. Krishna means here don't attach the results, but you should have a goal. That's what it is, very important point. And then actually the not setting a goal is a very problem, because it's a very someone is there is a kind of a misunderstanding between the goals and results. The goal is something that happens, the planning that before activity. Result is something after the activity. That's what it means here. So the essence is focus on the process endeavors and not on the results. And another important point here is who is attached to the results of the work, right? The result of his prescribed duty. So he became a cause of that action. So he became an enjoyer or sufferer of that result which is going to happen as a result of prescribed duty. So that we can further explore in the coming slide. But as I mentioned, all this thing, do your prescribed duty so far. First, yes. Second, no. Never entitled to your results. Second, no. And then the third is never consider yourself the cause of the actions. So all these are related, interlinked. So second, no. Never consider ma karma phaleshu hetu. Hetu means the reason. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of action. This is also very easy to understand with the farming example. Like in a farmer, like he sow the seeds and he makes sure that put the fertilizers, he make the fence so to protect the yield from the animals, and then put the all compost, urea, whatever fertilizers, nourishment and all. Make sure that sunlight, everything comes properly, things like that. So he do his prescribed duty. Whatever he has to do, he will do. And then there is a time is there, the yielding time, and then the result the yield comes, is may come or may not come. If it is nature, Mother Nature is a favorable, like the rains come on the right time, and then not too much rain or not too less rain, not too much sun, not too less sun. So if everything that happens properly, then the yield will come properly. So there are the many things are here. You are the only the doer, but initially, but there are the other factors too that is also contributing to your results. So that's what Krishna is telling. Never consider yourself you are the reason, but there are the other things that we'll see. So there's a 4 Ds, like a duty, destiny, duration, and desire results. Duty is a karma, destiny is a daivam, and duration is a kala, time, and desire results phala. So this all these things should happen favorably so that you will get a results. But you are also one of the reason, but you are the only reason. That's the point here, right? So there is also the super soul sanctions, and then the material nature. It's like a super soul sanction is very, very important. That, right? Even though all these other factors are working, but super soul sanction is there, not there, then it may not happen. But super soul sanction is there, then even though all these other factors are not there, but at least super soul helps to fill that thing, right? So that's the most important point here, what Krishna is making, that never consider yourself the cause of the results of action. Actually, I was just exploring further. There are so much thing why Krishna is telling actually. So there are the some real quick things. There are the other verses also there. I quickly give 2 seconds reading. Krishna tells in the 5.14, the embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create the activities, nor does he induce the people to act. Even the people think that, Rathayatra, things happen, we think that I am the inducing people to act. But actually here Krishna is saying, even you cannot induce the people to act. Does not create the fruits of action. All this enacted by the modes of material nature. And the 18.14 also Krishna says that after being situated in this yoga practice and the vibrating the I'm reading wrong one. For the one who always remembers me without deviation, I'm easy to obtain. Wrong one. 18.14. So, the place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul, these are the 5 factors of action. Anyway, the point here it is that we are not the only the cause. There are the other factors that will destiny, everything matters to make the things to happen. We should never think that I am the cause of the results of the action. So there is also, so what will happen if we do that thing? Other thing also we can discuss, very simple thing, practical application. So when I think I am the results of the action, there is if the results come favorable, there is every chance then you will get a puffed up. So what will happen with the puffed up? Then you will feel overconfidence, and the same duty, you put the same level of labor, but you won't succeed. And it's kind of we say overconfidence, but the point here we need to understand that first time when the result happen, because it's not only your efforts, there is a destiny, there is a kala, there is a super soul sanction. All this worked favorably that time, that point of time. So that's why you obtain the desired results. But you cannot expect the same equation always. It varies, like with whom we are acting, with who, and it's like a collective thing. So here is the point, right? When we have this understanding, then we have a good perception. Like when the results comes not favorable, then we know that yes. But also another important point, we should always not take for granted, okay, it's a fate. No, we also have to question to ourselves, you have a right to perform prescribed duty, right? Did I do proper duty? That's also important. Then all this comes. But if you don't do, then you expect that, it's my destiny. That's a misunderstanding. So you do your duty, that's your right, your qualification. And then, if the results not come favorable, then what to do? I did my best, but you have a very good mindset, very, very productive, very, very matured mindset. That is, with that thing we see the very, very good perception, right? And also same thing, like if you, as I mentioned, like if you don't get the results favorable, then the person can, get into that heartbreak mode, right? Man, I did so much thing, I did exactly what I did last time, that this did not happen this time. So there is every chance that you will just leave, like inaction. You may go to the, let me not do it at all. That's inaction is sinful, so that may lead to that mode. So this is, I feel like, sometimes I was thinking that most of the suicides happens in the society because we people thinks me, because of me and because of that, that's whole centered. So that's the reason actually if this understanding is there in the society, with this wisdom, I think, that half of the suicide cases will be reduced, maybe full. Because most of the people, they don't have this understanding. They think that I am the cause, so that with that thing, they do atmahatya, like they just kill themselves. But if they have this understanding, then it will be all different. And then just a real quick thing also, the parenting also, right? Sometimes parents also like they want their sons and daughters also become a certain thing. They try so much this thing, but he's also jiva. He has his own baggage and things like that. Of course, he do prescribe duty parents, but parents also go through this trauma. I did everything, but my kid is not turning out to be a good person. But this is an important understanding. So because they have this understanding, so they see the good perception. So third, no. Mate sangostu akarmani. Never attached to the not doing your duty. Right? So Arjuna argument that he will be sinful by killing all these kinsmen, relatives and friends. So then he's saying that by doing that thing I'll become sinful. But Krishna is just flipping over. He's saying that if you don't do duty as a Kshatriya, then you are sinful. It's completely, he flipped over. Lord Krishna also advised that Arjuna would be not on a spiritual path if he stopped working. He said that. So Lord Krishna is ultimate authority, so he has to follow his authority, and then working for the Supreme, that does not affect him. Actually, we never be inactive, right? I was reading one article in the Sweden. One young lady. It's very cold in winter, so polar bears go for hibernation. They sleep for 4 months or something like that. So she also thinks that it's so cold. Okay, let me also sleep like a polar bear. So first day she slept 27 hours or something, and then second day like 24 hours and things like that. And then over the time, that's it. I'm done. I cannot, because we cannot. We as a humans, you cannot be. It's a very misconception, like a not doing thing. Okay, I can put a stop to karma. That's not how things work in the karma. So you need to do your duty. So not doing your duty is a sinful. Just one more thing, like a sports coach also, right? The sports when they win the match or something, when they go before the media. So what they say, we tell our boys just play, just enjoy the game. Don't think about result. Don't think about. So basically, they are talking Bhagavad-Gita, this thing. Probably we don't know exactly they are doing or not, but thing is, this is the thing. Like this is, it's a part of our daily thing. If you really follow the Krishna instruction, if you take that wheels, take out our square wheels, put these circular wheels, our life will be very smooth. There are so many examples that the students will take exams, right? Like 4 to 5 exams, and then they take the first exam, and then whatever reason they did not do well, right? If they keep well in that thing, I did not do well, then that will impact the second thing, and you will also end up in the inaction. So it's all rather than past is past. Okay, let me focus on the next thing, next exam. So that's what devotee does. That's what the very even any productive, mature person will do that. So the attitude of detachment is empowers actually. The attitude of not doing will degrade us, right? We should never attach to the not doing. So this is what I was telling. The four-wheel drive. Right? Four-wheel drive. Like in a snow on demand, we can activate that thing. Yeah, that is something like that. It gives equal energy to these wheels or something. So these four things: never attach to the result. Do your prescribed duty. Never attach to the result. You are not entitled to the results of action, and then you never consider yourself the cause of the action. And then never attached to the not doing this thing. This four is like the four wheels for us in our daily activities and all. We have to check in whether we have all these four wheels has enough air and everything. So it's kind of then our life will be smooth. The transition, the journey will be smooth. So that alignment is most important. So, what is the goal of our life actually? What's supposed to do here? Sometimes we question to ourselves like, we can endeavor for material happiness, and then we can use our intelligence, mind for this, to get this and strive for happiness. That's one choice. But another choice we have, that's what recommended in Bhagavad-Gita. We endeavor using all our senses and this mind and intelligence and this capacity that God has given, and we use that in the service of the Lord. So that's actually train is going towards that thing. Krishna did not tell at the moment, but that's where this is going. As I told, it is just a first to fifth minute conversation. But Prabhupada said that, I do the activity, then result happen, then what to do? Can I just throw result? So Prabhupada said spiritual communism. So very nice, I like, because Prabhupada, this to understand this complex spiritual thing, he used that is something political system or science or technology, whatever is happening in this age, he can relate so that we can quickly, we can understand. As you know that the communism is, everyone works for state. There is no private thing like that. Everyone works for the state, and then the wealth will be distributed to the people. That's the spiritual communism. Even here also, like the concept of the tax collection is, we pay the tax, and then tax pool money they will be used, they will distribute it by providing infrastructure and things like that. Practically, that's the principle. We don't know really that happens or not. That's another topic. But here, what Prabhupada is telling, that is the spiritual state, doing everything for Krishna, and then Krishna distributes back to all of us. He cannot keep himself, so he distributes to all of us. That's the thing. So heroes are few, and then there are only few people even follow the heroes. This to do this thing, like it is not easy to live by these principles, right? So we are all conditioned souls. Like we want to enjoy the results of activities, but the Bhagavad Gita message is that real happiness will get by striving and then by endeavoring for the satisfaction of the Krishna. That's the thing. So Prabhupada is the real example, is a mission impossible task. Is the spiritual master has given, come to West and preach Krishna consciousness, where no one knows any culture or everyone impersonalism. Give the true love of God. It's even not goodness. What is it? Sattva goodness. Even the beyond goodness. Giving that is not a easy thing. But what Prabhupada did, these 4 things. Prescribed duty, spiritual master's advice, never entitled to the results of the action, always, and then never considered cause of the results. He always gives the credit back to his authority, spiritual master. And he was never inactive. He was just 2 hours sleeping, so whole 22 hours engaging in the service. And the other most important thing is, he's so visionary. He so much planning, so much strategy, so much this thing. He never be inactive. So always goal oriented. That's the important point from today's conversation. That's what I am taking. Actually, thing is, Krishna did not say you should not have a goals. Krishna said you should have goals, but you should not attach to the results. And then if you attach to the results, yes, it's a free will. You can do whatever happens. Also, he told. Of course, like you do whatever you wish to do, you can do, but these are the things is going to happen, right? So hypothetically, if something not happen, even what Prabhupada did, even still Prabhupada is a hero, because he just did all those 4 things. Because that's my point actually. This gives us such a cool effect on us. So much time. We invest our time, energy thinking about what happened, what went wrong, this duality and things like that. But when we have this proper understanding and all, this makes our life so productive, so smooth. So New Year is coming. Prabhupada is our hero, and then we also can become his instruments. We also become followers of heroes are also heroes. So with that, I will end. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments, questions? Yes, Prabhu.
The trouble with giving such a nice class is, I got a lot of questions. But I'll restrict myself to 2, because there may be other questions. My first question is, so we say, Napaleshu Kadachana, don't be attached. And you told the story of Arjuna, who, I'm going to kill Jayadratha. He was so attached to the result, he was going to kill himself if he didn't achieve the result. Sounds to me like he was attached to the result. So how do we understand that? He was going to kill himself if he didn't get the result.
Yeah. That's a good point. It's a sounds like that, right? It's like the prescribed duty as a and the first thing. What is that? What is the first thing? Karmanyevadhikarasya mafaleshu karmanyevadhikarasya. So basically, their prescribed duty is explained, right? So the Kshatriya, that point of time, Arjuna has to expect that. That time he cannot switch on this Brahmanical or a Shudra or whatever. He cannot do that, because that is a thing, that's a prescribed duty. That, as per Manusmriti, all these Kauravas made a mistake. They already put to death by Krishna. Just Arjuna is become an instrument. Krishna already told that, if if Krishna, Arjuna is not an instrument, he can choose other person, maybe Bhima or something, right? So here the Arjuna spirit is, it sounds like that, but he's actually exhibiting is that Kshatriya spirit, you know. Sounds like, yeah.
I would say just what you said about Arjuna being attached to goal and not the result. So it's like he's proclaiming that as a matter of his goal, not as a matter of result. He's not attached to the result, but he's attached to the I'm going to do it no matter what.
Yeah, that's a good point too. That we can see that as I indicated, like he's attached to the, like sounds like that, but it's like later he sit with Krishna and then strategize how to do, things like that. Goal and result. That's why it is very subtle. There is a difference between the goal and the result. Goal is a process. Goal is an endeavor. Goal is our right, our qualification to do.
Of course, his result was to kill Jayadratha. My goal was to kill Jayadratha. The result was to kill Jayadratha. But I won't argue that point. May I ask my second question?
Yes.
It seems as if when one becomes more devotionally inclined, and especially when one accepts a spiritual master, that these things change a little bit. These four principles change. For example, Srila Prabhupada would sometimes chastise devotees quite a bit if they didn't achieve the result that he wanted them to achieve. And the other thing is that sometimes he would engage devotees not according to the material swadharma. I know several of my godbrothers who were engaged completely against their nature, but that's what Prabhupada wanted. So my question is, does this actually change when it goes from, say, Nishkam Karma yoga to actual bhakti?
Sorry, Professor, I did not get Nishkam Karma is
so you're presenting this Nishkam Karma yoga, no attachment.
Yeah, no attached to the
So
results.
my question is, when you come to the platform of actually engaging in bhakti, especially under the instruction of a spiritual master, now this seems to change. If you cook for your spiritual master and he spits it out, this is horrible, then hey, I'm not attached. No, I'm real attached because I wanted to please my spiritual master. Or my spiritual master may tell me that, okay, you may be a Kshatriya, but I want you to act as well, let's take the Giriraj Maharaj. He's very Brahminical. And Prabhupada turned around and said, I want you to be a Kshatriya, I want you to manage. And he'd come to Prabhupada every once in a while and say, oh, I want to go preach. And then Prabhupada, no, So my question is, do things change a bit from what you presented when you actually move to the platform of bhakti and you accept the spiritual master?
Yeah, but I am getting one example to my mind. Someone asked, I think probably you also know, someone asked Prabhupada, is it okay I can attach to the result or attach to my service? Basically, I think something attached to the service. Yes, you can attach to your service. And he said, and then when I say other service, you detach and attach to that other service. So, yeah, you're right. The spiritual masters, actually, there are something came to my mind, but I'm not getting that. So Krishna chose Arjuna. Krishna can choose the other two, but Arjuna is the friend and also is not envious. I lost actually. There was something I wanted to tell, but I lost the track. Sorry.
Thank you for the wonderful class. I just had a question regarding our spiritual journey, right? Our spiritual journey, our goal of our spiritual journey is to attain Krishna Prema, right? And I think Prabhupada, someone asked this question to Prabhupada, I just don't remember the answer. I wanted to hear from you. Is our goal to go back to Godhead or to attain Krishna Prema? Because, or are they two different aspects? Because you cannot, like you said, you don't get attached to your fruits of labor, especially spiritual practices should not be attached to them. But so is our goal supposed to be attaining Krishna Prema, or supposed to be just going back to God? Because Krishna says you're not supposed to be here, you're supposed to be in the spiritual world with me. So I don't understand. So can you explain it that way?
For me it sounds.
Repeat the question.
Yeah. So Abhay's question is that the goal to Krishna Prema and goal to go back home, is that both are same?
Yeah.
Something like that. I feel like both are same, right? See, for a Krishna conscious, for a pure devotee, the mood of a pure devotee is, of course, let me put the two ways this thing. So first thing, the goal to go back to Godhead or goal to have a Krishna Prema, that's good. We should have a goal and we should achieve, and then we need to do whatever we need to do to attain that. That's one thing. And then the other point, the devotee, the pure devotee, his consciousness does not matter, whether go back home or he stays wherever they are. His mood is just heaven or hell, wherever you want me, just engage in your service. That's actually the all. If you see all the bhajans, all the mood of all our acharyas are like that. You just you just make me dog of a devotee. Their mood is like that. They don't have all these fancy things. I want to go to Krishna Loka, I want to enjoy. Their mood is just wherever it is there, engage in your service, heaven or hell. And of course, Krishna gives some more than we expect, but the devotee, for him does not matter. Even by staying here, you'll be happy by serving the spiritual master, by serving Krishna. That's the mood actually.
Okay.
Of course, we have all this there byproducts, but the real mood of the devotee is he just I'm not getting the what is it, Atma Rama verse, and then he's situated happily inside. Brahma Prasannatma Nathakshati Nasha Sukshati. So that's the thing. That's the true devotees. The actual devotees actually they will just, their prayer is please just engage in your service. That's our spirit of Hare Krishna Mahamudra chanting. The spirit is please accept me, engage in your service, and then that Krishna Prema, all these things that happens anyway. But the mood of the devotee is just first give me this basic understanding. So that's the thing actually. The Krishna here also telling Arjuna, he's not giving high philosophy. He just told about the soul, and then he's talking about how you need to work. The kid is there. Kid is he's unrestfully playing. So what we do, we give him engaging in something else. So then he will develop higher taste. Because that's what exactly is happening here. Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna is behaving like a kid here. So let me first engage in doing something. Empty mind is devil's workshop. Let him engage in, do some activity and all. Then that leads to the bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, and this thing. But let me first engage in. But how to do is telling you. So that's my answer. The pure devotee is It's just his mood is just engaging in your service.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for the class. Thank you for simplifying it. Wonderful illustration.
Thank you, Prabhu.
My question is on one of the no's. Never consider yourself cause of results of your activities. So there are two paths here. One path is when person performs all the duties and executes well, plans well and executes well, but still fails. And you covered that and you explained that very well. So in those situations, one cannot blame himself or herself because they performed their duties. And then there is another path to it when the person did not perform their duties and failed because of that. Now you kind of covered that in the third no, that you should not be attached to not doing the duties. You should be doing the duties, and since you're doing your duties, you should not consider yourself as cause of failing, right? So the question is, there are cases when a child, as a parent, one would see, child is thinking that he did his duties, but actually he did not. So in his mind, he thinks he performed his actions, he planned, he executed, but actually he did not. He's a lazy child.
The kid.
Yes.
Okay.
How do we explain that? Or how do we explain this to that kid?
It's a parenting question. I don't have kids, but I try. The one thing coming to my thoughts, very classic, very beautiful example. This happened with Prabhupada kid, right? Prabhupada, those days fan is there, right? The table fan. So it is rotating, and then his son wanted to put his finger inside that thing. Prabhupada told, no, don't do that. If you put your finger will chop. But he was stop. He was kind of cranky. Then what Prabhupada did? Okay, you want to do? Then Prabhupada switched off the fan, and then it's rotating not as fast, but it's a slow motion and all. Okay, put now. He put it, and then oops. Then that kid never put the finger into that thing. So that's the kid is not doing what he not supposed to do as a parent, whatever the prescribed duty, what we need to. There is also Ramchandra who always tells this. I like this. Chanakya Pandit tells up to I think Kaumara Dasha or something, you will be very strict, very disciplined, and then after that then you become a friend. There are some scriptural guidance is there, like we need to do that way to become a friend if it is a teenager or something like that, and then if it's a small kid and all, then we should be very strict. And also other thing coming to my mind that you can take your kids only to certain extent. You can influence them. Then beyond that you cannot, because Garka Murgi Dal Barabar, something like. So they don't. So then you can see in your circle, is there some influential person, something, or that kid has some respect, so you can buddy with that, hook up with that person,
So the kid was just an example. This is also seen in the grown-ups. So is the explanation that the tamas gun is more active in such people? That's why we still cannot blame them for the results.
So what is the point? Thomas, good,
So,
ignorance,
kid-
mode of
kid-
ignorance,
kid-
yes.
Kid is just an example. I see this in the grown-ups also. As a supervisor at work, I see some people not fulfilling their responsibility and still feel they did well, but actually there is no result. How do we explain? How can we say they are not cause of the results?
You are now shifting to the office. Office it must be office.
I mean, office and office atmosphere, kid atmosphere. It's just an example, but the point here is, the person is indeed the cause of the problem. That person did not perform the duty. That's why this happened. That's why the failure happened.
How we need to tell?
How do we explain that?
Yeah, it's like every company has a different things, performance evaluations. If you are a manager, you have a 101, or I don't know how it works. Every organization has a different metrics, things like that. You give the feedback. I mean, like it's a work example, right? If you are not doing well, then of course it's a very honest thing. As this role, you need to do this, but you're not doing what's going on, and then complain to HR or give the I don't know the protocol in the each and every office. Maybe companies like Accenture or something, they will fire the people just like that. Looking at Hashimoto. So the other companies and all, they are so liberal and they give some second chance, third chance. Is that answers? Yes, Richard.
Yes, hi Krishna. Again, thanks for the very wonderful presentation. I think we've discussed this in talk before in our private conversations, but I'm still confused by the fact that I have a goal, but I find it very difficult, almost impossible for me to separate and distinguish my goals from my end results. And I'm wondering, in reality, I aim to please, let's say, my spiritual master or my God, Krishna, and that's my goal. So if I accomplish that result, doesn't matter, because in reality, I'm not making the decision as to my destination. Hopefully, if my result, if my goals have been reached, and I please my spiritual advisor and I please Krishna, and I've accomplished those goals, again, I'm not making, granted, and they've done correctly, I'm saying, and they've done in a spiritual fashion. I still am not making the decision as to my hereafter. That my destiny is not under my control, but my results are. Because I aim to please, I aim to accomplish those results in a spiritual, godly manner. And I think that my realization of that, to me, is sufficient. But again, it's guided by the fact that, be it good or bad, the ultimate decision is made by some higher body elsewhere. So there's some personal accountability for me and my goals. Hopefully they're good goals, they're spiritual goals, they're religious, and I will accomplish them and be proud of the results. But again, I'm still not in control, because that is by Krishna. He will evaluate the results and find out and determine for me and all others whether or not it's been godly, if it's performed correctly, and whether there's to be some reward, let's say, or even some punishment for the lack of fulfillment, or for the fulfillment in a less than godly manner. So what is the matter wrong with connecting my goals with my end result? Because I'm accountable for those results. Whether they're good or bad, I'm the accountable one, and I'll be either perhaps rewarded or punished based on goal fulfillment and the results, which in the aftermath will be the product.
Yeah. Here Krishna's instruction is very clear. So never entitled to the results of action. Never. And the way you narrated, that's really loved it, because when you are working for Krishna or you are working for spiritual authority, then you are actually not responsible. That what does that mean? Not a careless. Means it is you are just handing over that the burden of that thing to the authority, whatever. whatever you are, because I am here. My prescribed duty is whatever I need to do it, and then the whatever that is outcome, whatever is that outcome is that a kind of a I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible in the sense that burden of that achieving that goal or something is it's up to the Krishna or spiritual authority, whoever is. It's like that. Like the only qualification we have, just do the endeavors, and then whatever is going to happen, it's up to the the authority, that what it's that's why also Krishna said it's then you are not become a enjoyer or sufferer of that activity. You are just transferring everything to, in this case, like a Arjuna is just an instrument. Krishna already put them to death. He already showed that all people are coming to his mouth and getting crushed on. It's like that. Like for us, yesterday, how is yesterday for us? For Krishna, the future is like that. For us, yesterday I know a little bit, but for Krishna knows the future too. So it's already put to death. And to your point, like I got your point. So the thing is, when you work for that spiritual authority or this thing, then you are actually transferring that burden to that thing. Your only duty is just do your performing your prescribed duty. That's it. That's the only right words.
So just to follow up on that, is that when you engage in bhakti, the result should be that you are detached from the material. But if you're not, then you are doing something wrong. So you have to take the ownership of that, right? So you are doing something, but you're not getting the result. That indicates that the process is missing somewhere. So you have to put effort into the process more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not that okay, I did my part and nothing happened, so it's not my fault, right? So you have to bhakti pareshan bhava virakti anyat prashat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you are engaging in bhakti, there has to be detachment from the material. But if there is no detachment from the material, then there is something is missing somewhere. Your attention on bhakti is not there. So that's how we have to take the ownership of our actions also. That okay, I'm entitled to work, but I have to be careful about whether my consciousness is going in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I use the word qualification too. It's not only right, it is also qualification. Means Brahmana, when Brahmana is qualified, how Brahmana will qualify? Because of certain characters or things, then will be called as a Brahmana. In the same way as whatever the as per that Varnashram Dharma is that it's implied meaning. Make sure that work should be done perfectly. That's why at one point of time I also told that we should also make sure that results don't happen. That does not mean you can just blame the destiny, but also retrospect. Maybe I did not perform my prescribed duty to the extent I supposed to do diligently. Yeah. Excuse me.
To that point, I actually made a connection to my japa meditation, right? So if I'm chanting japa, looking to get a nice experience out of it, then I'm not doing it in the right manner, right? But if I just do it and it's by the mercy of the spiritual master that I can do it nicely and attentively, then I have to endeavor to just hear every syllable, to hear every word, because otherwise I'm just I'm not doing a spiritual thing. I'm looking for results. I'm doing this because not for the pleasure of Krishna, but because I'm gonna get some sense gratification out of it. So
Mm.
that's just like the connection I made to the word. Yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Ram Sharan Prabhu ki.
Jai.